Hello, hello, good evening. It is Tarot Queen Jamila. You guys notice that the channel name says Pagan Tarot Craft now. So I've kind of switched things up. I'm going to do a dark reading, which means that I'm just going to be speaking from the darkness about Supa. I did throw a spread for her. If you guys don't know who Supa is, she is a black makeup mogul or however you pronounce that. And she made $1 million in one day off of her makeup products. Okay. She announced this publicly that she made this money, and shortly thereafter, she began to suffer from amnesia, actually. Okay. And so I actually ran across a video on a channel that I hadn't watched in a minute because, Spirit said, okay, you can't watch that channel for a while. You need to go somewhere else. So when I went back, I got the idea to do the reading on this sister as far as what was going on with her. So the whole story is lined out here. I know she's an Aquarius. She actually comes up in her own reading a couple of times, actually. So the first card that I threw for her is the Eight of Wands. And so this is the energy of her ideas, her putting it into action, and her putting the product out there, which was her makeup products. Okay, hit that thumbs up, guys. I know my ratings are disabled. So the Eight of Wands represents her fast track forward. Now, the first thing that Spirit did tell me about her is that she did not necessarily protect her money. And I'm talking about spiritually protected it. She didn't do that. Okay. But the card that comes up next is the Queen of Swords. So this is her. This is her putting her idea out there. She got blessed with an abundance. The next card is the Ace of Cups. Hold on. So Queen of Swords comes up next to the Queen of Swords is the Ace of Cups. So this is her abundance. This is that $1 million that she got. Okay. This is about Supa. She is basically the we have to call her black because they always assume that blacks are going to be losers, but she's a millionaire and she's a black woman. Okay. She created a makeup line that she earned $1 million off of the first day or Cyber Monday or something like that. Okay. Now, the card next to the Ace of Cups is the Fool card. And that does say to me that there's definitely folks around her that she can't trust. And then the Five of Pentacles comes up. So the one card that I did not see in here was the Magician, the High Priestess. So she's actually missing this from her life. I feel like there was already a curse that was there prior to everything, to what she did. There was already a curse there. Okay. But that Five of Pentacles. Feel like she still has a great deal of the money because the Nine of Pentacles comes up after the Five of Pentacles. We get the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a sister that has a lot of manifestation power. Okay. She has a lot of manifestation power. She still has a lot of that money, but she is going to keep creating. Okay. She's got new ideas. The Eight of Pentacles comes up. But then the next three cards are very interesting. She's got 10 of Swords, Death, and the 10 of Wands. So, first of all, I feel as though that 10 of Swords does represent, it does represent mental, aka spiritual illness. Okay. She also does have spiritual gifts. The Death card and the 10 of Wands comes up. So, probably more than likely, a lot of the people in her family are mediums. Okay. What is a medium? A medium is somebody that can communicate with the dead. But let me tell y'all something. A medium is not always somebody that can communicate with the dead, because a lot of people can't decipher. This is when the dead can communicate with you and you may not know it. So at that time, she was definitely under the influence. Okay. And this is the reason why she couldn't remember who she was. Anytime you go on a venture like that, because obviously if you're able to create a makeup line, you know, especially, I mean, literally, because you got to get somebody to manufacture it. So you have to have money to do that. You have to have money to do that. What I can see at first glance is she's got to be some kind of Christian, Baptist. She's not practicing and she's not using esoteric knowledge. Okay. She's not. I feel like that's what she was missing. So like I said, there was already a hex in place. You know, if you're any kind of seer or medium or whatever, you have to take religion with a grain of salt. You have to. So I feel like the reason why that happened to her is because she was not necessarily spiritually protected. The Fool and the Five of Pentacles, she wasn't in touch with her ancestors. You know, and if she was, I feel like it wasn't the right ones. Okay, she's that trust card next to that Five of Coins or Five of Pentacles just tells me everything. She's absolutely under spiritual attack and definitely was under spiritual attack back then. But again, she should have protected her interests. And then also what she's going to have to do, there's a spiritual debt to be repaid. She's got something generational on her. You know, because of religion and Christianity, all witches and empaths, and there's spiritual debt that you must repay. No one will ever really understand why you have to be shunned and done dirty because you have spiritual gifts, even though the Bible speaks of these spiritual gifts. But it's one of those things that most of the population accept. So we generally live under that umbrella. Okay. All right. So I can tell right off the bat that she's got spiritual gifts. She got the Star card. It's her very last card. So what I can see is that she is going to recover and she's going to go on and become more famous. The World card comes up though after the 10 of Wands and then the Sun card. So definitely something going on with her father's side of the family. I did research that her father. She, you know, she lived with her mother, but I get the sense that there's something going on with her dad. It's coming from her father's side of the family. Period. Okay. So the Sun card lets me know that because that's her father. Not to say that he's bad. Okay. Not to say that, but sometimes There's negative spiritual energy. And so she does have a generational curse on her. She had it previous to her selling that makeup. Okay. She had that previously. So when you have that kind of money coming in, it's almost like, touching, it's almost like waking up a virus. Okay. That's what it was. It's almost like waking up a virus. Okay. After the Sun card, the Ace of Wands came up next to the King of Swords. So this is a direct message regarding herself. The Ace of Wands does represent rerouting yourself, redoing things, doing them the correct way. Hopefully she got herself some spiritual guidance to where somebody said, hey, look, baby, I don't care if I make $1 million. I'm going to tell everybody in the whole world I made $1 million. I don't care. 10 million, whatever I made. But I'm going to have that money spiritually protected. She didn't do that. She didn't. She was always destined for greatness, but she did not have the spiritual knowledge. Okay. I can see where she bought a house. She's spending a great deal of money on doctor bills, which, she needs to go and see a witch doctor is who she needs to see. The only thing the doctors can do is treat the symptoms. They can't really treat what's going on. Okay. So she's spending a great deal of her money on doctors and stuff and therapists and things like that. But she really needs some spiritual therapy is what she needs, because there is a Gen Hex on her. I think she's going to discover this in the future, however, because the Star card comes up. This is when you have a light bulb moment. Also, I feel as though that's healing energy. The Star card represents healing energy, so I do believe that she will get her memory back, her mind back. Okay. Now, I asked the card specifically what happened to her. Tell me all about her. Another thing that I can see Crayola having a problem with her because she used their, it looked like Crayola. So you can't really mess with no corporation like that. Okay. And so Crayola had a problem with her, using their layout. And so she had to change the face of her product. So you can definitely see their energy, their lawyers, which is a lot for somebody to handle. That's a lot. Having some large corporation come down on you, that's a lot. That's a lot to have on you. She will come through it. She will get through it from what I can see. I feel like she has a very strong energy. As far as why she lost her memory or what happened or what was the circumstances leading up to that, from what I can see, is that it was definitely it was something that happened. I can see it. It's hidden very deeply, whatever it is. Somebody did want to get their hands on that money. And they did get their hands on some of it. But I can see her making a very powerful comeback from this, as indicated by the Star card. I'm going to look at I'm going to ask specifically what led to the amnesia, spirit guides. That Eight of Wands keeps flipping over. Spirit guides, why did Supa lose her memory? What led up to that? What was going on? Was it somebody else? Was it just something that happened? What was it? Okay. We're going to see I keep seeing her. For some reason, I do keep seeing her significant other or her boyfriend. Um, I do keep seeing him over and over again in this reading. The Two of Wands came up, the Four of Wands. But the funny part about it is that the only remotely negative card in this reading is the um, Karma card and the Ten of Wands. So the Karma is the Judgment card in this deck that I'm using. Otherwise, she got Four of Wands, Nine of Cups, the Empress, the Three of Pentacles, the Judgment card, the Two of Wands, the Ace of Cups, Queen of Swords is the five cards that I laid out. I'm sorry, the 10 cards that I laid out. It's hidden, y'all. It's hidden very, very deep. Hello, Kaja. Hello, Alyssa, Lauren, Rima. Hello. Spirit, clarify judgment. The Lovers comes up. Some about I feel like I keep somebody that she's in a romantic relationship with. However, I don't see any cards that are even remotely close to any kind of esoteric knowledge or esoteric use, like witchcraft being used on her, except for the Ten of Wands. Mm. Guys, you know what? To be honest with you, I really, really kind of think that there's nothing really wrong with her. But then again, I keep seeing this Four of Wands and this Two of Wands, and then the Lovers comes up. It's very, very difficult to read. I will tell you that. When I ask specifically about that, what I will tell you is that I'm just going to come out and say it. With this reading, I don't necessarily see anybody surrounding her that had a direct intent on doing harm to her. I do, however, feel as though, maybe getting that kind of money, could have had some kind of negative impact, or like I said, it could have unearthed some kind of sickness. The Ten of Wands comes up. Very, very perplexing to me. I don't really see any, clarify the Ten of Wands. The Page of Wands and the Hermit. There is an oppressive spirit that seems to be over her bloodline. Whatever it is that she has going on, she's definitely going to recover from it. She's definitely going to recover. Okay, is what I will tell you. The only thing that I can see is that there was already some sort of hex or curse that was there. I do feel like she has a lot of support, a lot more support than I've ever had. So I will tell you that I do feel as though she's going to be okay. Don't even really think that she needs the publicity, because what I was going to guess that maybe this was some kind of publicity stunt, but I can't even say that I see that. I can't even say that I see that. Okay. So I don't really see anybody around her. I do feel as though the lover, now what I will tell you is that whoever she's dealing with, as far as a lover, there's a third party involved that, probably does want to break up the relationship or something. But as far as any direct intent to harm her mind, body, and spirit, I can't even see anybody doing that. And it's probably because they actually don't have the power. I mean, if somebody's going to make you lose your memory, they would either have to do witchcraft on you, while giving you drugs. Maybe somebody, could have slipped something. I'm just not seeing it though. Not in the cards. However, I do see, like I said, an oppressive spirit. She is going to make more money. She's got more stuff coming up in the future within the next year. And you can see the oppressive spirit, but I can just barely see it. Just barely. Does come up as the hermit. The hermit, sometimes, y'all know what the hermit reminds me of. The hermit sometimes reminds me of a person that is just completely on a spiritual path. They let it all go. They let money go. They let any material item go. And they just kind of roam the streets homeless, but naked. That's the spirit of the hermit. And see, most of us don't want to do that, and we don't have to. Okay. So I do feel as though there is a very, very powerful spiritual lineage that she comes from, especially when it comes to shamanism and that kind of elevation. But most people want, most people, including myself, we want the security of a home and the security of other things beyond that. So that is that oppressive spirit, but that spirit can actually work for you. And my advice to her is for her to start speaking to her spirit guides and saying, look, this is what's in my will. Either you with me or you against me. Okay. So I do see ancestors that they may or may not be good or bad for what she wants, because what is within her will is prosperity and abundance. She may have spirits or spirit guides that they like, what's that? What's prosperity and abundance? You supposed to be running around butt naked with a fig leaf over your genitalia. So some of our ancestors are a little outdated. They don't really believe in or have they don't really have a concept of these material items. They don't really have a concept of that. They don't really have a care for that. Other than that, and you know what, to be honest with you, from what I can see, I feel like whoever it is that she's dealing with, I feel like they do have general love for her. I see love surrounding all around her. Love and support. It's what I can see. You know, this hermit that comes up, though, I will tell you that is a very badass spirit guide. Sometimes the hermit, when it comes up in a reading, it can be negative. Can be negative sometimes. Okay. Now, I will tell you that what spirits are telling her is for her to not announce things like that. She may have done a lot better had she not done that. And that is because she made $1 million, and she did it while she was using basically the logo of Crayola. So, and these people, they not playing it. They not having it. They don't play that. And they will do what they have to do and whatever they have to do to protect their brand. Okay, is what I will tell you. Okay. Anyway, guys, that is my reading on Supa Scent. Hit that thumbs up. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys need your own personal private readings, the link to my website is below. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Love and light.